The Plague by Albert Camus. The Plague is a novel written by Albert Camus, published in 1947, that tells the story from the point of view of an unknown narrator of a plague sweeping the French Algerian city of Oran. Albert Camus was born in 1913. He was a French writer best known for his absurdist works, including The Stranger, published in 1942, and The Plague. He also was a philosopher and a journalist. Camus was admitted to the University of Algiers, where he studied philosophy and played soccer, but he quit the team following a bout of tuberculosis in 1930, thereafter focusing on academic study. By 1936, he had obtained undergraduate and graduate degrees in philosophy. Camus became known for his political journalism, novels and essays during the 1940s. His best-known works are exemplars of absurdism. He won the Nobel Prize in Literature at the age of 44 in 1957 and finally died in 1960. The story takes place in Oran, a French city situated in the coast of Algeria. The inhabitants lead busy, money-centered and denatured lives. They scarcely notice that they are alive. Camus referred to Oran as an ordinary town. The story is narrated by an unknown narrator whose identity is hidden until the end of the story, and through which tells about the other characters, mainly the principal character Dr. Gueux, then Panelu, and Raymond Lambert. Dr. Bernard Gueux, a staunch humanist and atheist, he is one of the first people in Oran to urge that stringent sanitation measures be taken to fight the rising epidemic. His actions and personality imply that he believes in a personal as well as social code of ethics. Father Panelu is a Jesuit priest in Oran. He delivers a sermon to his confused, frightened congregation, declaring that the plague is a God-sent punishment for their sins. As the plague rages on, he modifies this stance, seeing the plague as a supreme test of faith. Raymond Lambert is a journalist from Oran. He comes to Oran to research the sanitary conditions in the Arab population, but the sudden, unexpected total quarantine of Oran traps him in the city. He desperately struggled to find some method of escape from Oran to rejoin his wife in Paris. Jean Tarrou is the author of the account that Dr. Gueux uses to give greater texture to his chronicle of the plague. He does not believe in God, so he does not believe in the illusion of an intrinsic rational and moral meaning in death, suffering, and human existence. Dr. Gueux comes across a dead rat, then another and another. Soon the town is overrun with the mysterious deaths of thousands of rats who stumble out of their hiding places, let out a drop of blood from their noses, and expire. The authorities remove the rats and the town heaves a sigh of relief, but Dr. Gueux suspects that this is not the end. He had read enough about the structure of plagues and transmissions from animals to humans. Dr. Gueux's colleague, Castel, becomes certain that the illness is the bubonic plague. They are forced to confront the indifference and denial of the authorities. Only after it becomes impossible to deny do the authorities enact strict sanitation measures, placing the whole city under quarantine. Raymond Lambert endeavors to escape Oran to rejoin his wife in Paris, but the city's bureaucrats refuse to let him leave. He tries to escape by illegal means with the help of Cotard's criminal associates. Cotard is suspicious and a paranoid man. Cotard committed a crime in the past, so he has lived in constant fear of arrest and punishment. He greets the plague epidemic with open arms because he no longer feels alone in his fearful suffering. He accumulates a great deal of wealth as smuggled during the epidemic. Oran citizens come to recognize the plague as a collective disaster that is everyone's concern. Panelu dies clutching his crucifix, but the symptoms of his illness do not match those of the plague. Dr. Gu records him as a doubtful case. When the epidemic ends, Cotard cannot cope. He begins randomly firing his gun into the street until he is captured by the police. Tarou dies just as the epidemic is declining, but he battles with all his strength for his life. Romber's wife joins him in Oran after the city gates are finally opened. Dr. Gu's own wife dies of a prolonged illness before she and her husband can be reunited. Gu knows that the battle against the plague is never over because the bacillus microbe can lie dormant for years. Camus was thrown into his theme because in his philosophy we are all unbeknownst to us already living through a plague. That is a widespread, silent, invisible disease that may kill any of us at any time and destroy the lives we assume were solid. The book made me think about the way we fall on monotony, forgiving the ones that we love. On the other hand, it takes through different points of view about religious, scientific, and political perspectives.